Hi everyone, it's Eileen from Now There's a Crafty Idea, and how are you all today? Hi and welcome to new subscribers. Thank you very much. Hi and welcome to all subscribers. Thank you very much. And I would just like to say thank you for all the interactions. It's fantastic. I love getting comments and I love getting likes, and it just makes me realise that you're into what I'm doing, and that's great. So today I just thought I would do a little, it's kind of an experiment. I have some lovely old book pages and they are great for collage, but I thought, I don't want to just use them for collage. But the problem is some of them are very old and, they're very delicate and brittle. And so I thought, what can I do to use them, but not, just as a back filler, not just as, just collage. That's all I seem to do with them. So I wanted to do something else. So I've bought myself some Mod Podge. Now this one it's called Antique Matte, and it's got a nice creamy antique finish to it, and it's a sealer, but we all know Mod Podge is really, it's good at toughening up delicate paper. So I thought, why not use some of my napkins and tissue paper? And I have a selection. I've just grabbed out just everything I could see, and I've got a little bit of everything. I've got some rice paper as well, so I thought I'd try that. I've got some textured paper because I thought that might be interesting, and then I've got this, which is just, it's tissue paper, but it's just gift tissue paper. So yeah, so I just thought we'd give it a go. And oh yeah, I've also got this, which is like, it's textured paper. It's like a textured, I don't know whether to call it a fabric or a paper, but it's got these lovely gold threads running through it. And I just thought, let's give it a go and see what it looks like. You never know until you try. So it's a bit of an experiment. Let's see what we end up with. And you're going to laugh at me when you see me paintbrush. It's tiny. I have somewhere a box of paintbrushes, but can I find them? No. And I honestly don't know where they've gone. So I've ended up with a tiny little paintbrush. Bear with me folks, we'll get there, I swear. Right, so I'm going to start with this one because I absolutely adore this paper. And it's from a very old book. And I do love the text, I love the colour of it, it's yummy. So let's just get some of this Mod Podge on. Now, I'm just going to put a buncolor on, and then we'll just spread it out. And this is not only going to protect the paper and make it usable as an actual item in itself, but it means that it's going to be pretty with the well, I'm hoping it's going to be pretty with the tissue over it, and it'll look really cute. And then we can start using it for other things, like making tags out of, because I love these old book pages. I mean, you just can't get colour like that. That's pure age, and it's just nice to have that lovely colour. And I do have some of these packs on the Etsy store. I did put together some packs, and the paper ranges from, I think, 30 years old to 120 years old. There's even some 120-year-old paper. Now, because this is very old and fragile, it's soaking this up, and that's a good thing. I'm going to have to work quick, so let's find one that I've already pulled apart. This one. Is that going to be big enough? Yeah, okay. So I am just going to, it doesn't matter if it's not going the right way, I'm going to just pop that on, and that's just going to go over, and I'm going to give it a good rub down. I would use my card, but the problem is when you're using tissue napkins, the card will just drag them up, so you're better off with your fingers. Get your fingers in there, give it a good press down, and then hopefully we're not stuck to the page. Let's just tear off the bit that we don't need. There we go. And then I'm going to cut round. Before I do a top coat, I'm just going to cut round, because otherwise my scissors will just get all gloopy. You don't have to be really precise about this, because once this is dried, then you can trim it properly. I'm just getting off the little bits of excess even. And as you can see, I'm not being very clever with the cutting. These scissors are they just need a really good sharpening, but it's on the list of things to do. If your list is anything like mine, I can't see the top of the list because I'm way down at the bottom. Right, okay, now let's get a top coat on, and this will just seal the whole thing and hopefully give it that extra little bit. And because this is an antique finish, it's going to keep that yummy kind of colour, and it's going to add its own level of lovely depth and colour. So if you're working with something like this napkin in between is a bit white in between the flowers, so that's fine because it's going to have this lovely cream colour over the top of it. And that's just going to give it a little bit of an aged effect, an antique effect, hence it being called antique Mod Podge. Yep, that would be it, Eileen. And it's a nice little thing to sit and do, and then you can just put them aside and you can get loads done in one go, and then you've got just tons and tons of fun pages. Getting stuck to the page, that you can play with. Now look at that. That is going to be lovely as a journal card, and then we can decorate over the top, and it's like having a patterned paper, but you've got those levels of age and the paper below it. And yeah, so let's put that aside to dry. I'm going to have to make some room. Okay, where's our next one? Let's see, what else do we have? Let's bring this one back. Let's do a music one. I like these ones. They're quite nice. The music's quite dark. And it's got quite a bit of age to it, this one as well. Let's see what we can do with this. And I think because it's music, let's use a Christmassy one. We've got one already pulled out there. I should remember to pull the napkins ready, because you've got to work quick with Mod Podge, especially on old paper that soaks it up. Right. The only problem is it is quite a messy thing, so you're going to get it everywhere. Hence, I'm using the glue pages. But it does dry fast, Mod Podge, especially if you're in a warm environment, a warm dry environment, which luckily I am at the minute. I have the heating on because it's quite nasty outside. We have had lots and lots of rain today. I think it stopped raining now, but it's so damp, and with the dampness comes the cold. And I could tell it was going to be one of those days because the seagulls gave up this morning straight away and came inland. They woke me up flying over the house. I was like, yeah, here they come, that means rain. Yeah, they don't mess about around the coast when it's going to be a rainy day. Not when they can come inland and find easy food. Right, let's see. Oh, don't stick to the page. This is the only problem. You've got to be really careful. You're going to go away. Now, let's get this. You stay there. And I am literally just going to layer this over. And again, press it all down. Be careful when you're pressing, because if you run your hands across too quickly, you can end up pulling it back up again, and then it just makes a mess. But you don't want to have... Oh, I'm not sticking it to you. You have missed the paper. I haven't. It's the paper underneath. Okay. Right. Now, let's just make sure we've got all the little creases out. That looks gorgeous already because you can see the lovely music underneath. and it just looks adorable with the Christmas napkin over. Fantastic. Okay, let's trim this. And the good thing is, you know, if you've got a decent amount of napkins, which they're not hard to find, I get a lot of mine from the local supermarket, you know, during different parts of the year, they're coming out with some really nice ones. So this is making a nice patterned paper very inexpensive, because you can get a nice pack of napkins for what, £1.99? That's maybe $2.50, something like that. I'm not sure what the exchange rate is at the moment, or but probably be about €2.40. Again, I don't know what the exchange rate is, but anyway, they're cheap, and you usually get about 20 napkins in a pack. Or if you wanted to, you could go onto Etsy, and there are so many people, I don't know why I'm gluing that bit down, there are so many people on there who sell lovely decorative napkins, and even if you pay a little bit more for them, it's still an inexpensive way of getting yourself some lovely patterned paper, especially because it's going to be layered. And yeah, it's a great idea, I think. Napkins, just because the designs on them are often so very pretty. And then you've got tags, journaling cards, all sorts of things you can make out of them, instead of just using this paper for collage. Plus, like I said, it strengthens the paper, so your old papers that tend to fall apart have a new lease of life thanks to the Mod Podge and the napkin. Because it's sad when you get a lovely paper but you can't really use it for anything but a collage, because it's so delicate. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Now that's going to make a lovely, well, it could make a few things out of that. It's a nice big page. Let's pop that one over to dry. Let's go a different one. Right, let's see. Oh, I love this one. I love this napkin. It's one of my favourites. I can't remember where I got it from. It was one of them one of them times when I wasn't paying attention, but I picked it up, and by the time I come to use it, I was like, oh, that's amazing, but I've forgotten now where I got it from, and I've only got a few left. And I'm hopeless at doing these. I know there's a trick with sellotape, but I don't have any to hand, so hopefully I can get it. There we go, there we go. No, do you want to? Yeah, okay, let's go. There's another cloth. Now, is there another layer? I don't know if there's another layer there, you know. Nope. Right, we've got that. Now, let's see what we're going to put this over, because this is a really unusual one. Let's use this, because this is quite a thick paper. It's from a 1920s children's book. But you can see from the cracking around the edge, it's starting to, you know, it's starting to fall apart, but the colouring on it is fantastic. And because it's a children's book, especially from the 1920s, I know that there's not going to be any naughty words. In fact, I think it's about the minstrel's quest. I think it's about like fairy tales and things like that, so that's fun. Which matches the napkin, because it's a fairy tale napkin. And this is going to look great in those ladybird journals, so that's going to be fun. I wish I had a bigger brush, because really this is just, I'm going to do this in parts because I think it's going to dry too quick on this paper. And I'll tell you why, because it's soaking it up so quickly. So I just want to make sure I get this on. Now this is a darker napkin. I'm just rubbing it hard. I know I seem like I'm being a little bit too undelicate, but I'm just getting rid of those, you know, the bumpy bits around the edge. If you press them down into the glue, you can get rid of them. I know some people just cut them off, but you're losing half your napkin if you do that. Now let's do the other half. And then we can get the rest of this put down. And yeah, it's, I mean, Mod Podge is one of those things, isn't it? It's just like a wonder glue. And I love the texture it gives, the finished texture. I mean, I did a tutorial a while ago now on making like faux ancient documents using the Mod Podge to create a faux kind of like leathery type of feel to the paper. And it really does give you that kind of wonderful, almost leathery feel when it's been put on, and I love that. And you can write on it, which is great. I mean, I've never had a problem writing on it. I suppose it depends on what you write with, but yeah, I've never had a problem with it. I know some people have said that they don't like writing on it, but yeah, it's never been an issue. Whoa, get it all over. Right, let's get the rest of this down. There we go. And because this napkin is a little bit thicker than the other ones, I can be a little bit more forceful with it. And I think, oh, see, apart from there, when you just like destroy it, but that's fine, because once I decorate it, something will be put there. Yeah. So, right, let's get this pulled up. Because I mean, this isn't going to be the finished item. You know, this is just, we're just creating a patterned paper that we can use to make different things, and we can like decorate on top of that. So that's fine. A little bit there, a little bit there. That's fine. I'm not even going to sweat it. It's going to get decorated on top of. But there you are. I just demonstrated to you why you should be a bit more careful with your napkins. Okay. Right, let's get some more of this on. I just love this, you know, it just takes me right back to school, especially afterwards when you've got to peel it off your fingers. Do you remember doing that in class? Painting your fingers with PVA glue so you could sit and peel it off. Oh, we used to do it all the time. Now think about it now, you know. Oh my god, yes, it's just exactly the same as when you're playing with PVA. You get to sit and peel it off afterwards. I don't know why that is so like attractive. Oh my word. But yeah, I remember many happy art classes sitting at the back painting my fingers with PVA glue instead of doing what I was supposed to do, probably. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure the girl I used to sit next to, Julie, she used to paint her whole hand and then just sit and peel her hand off. Oh, sounds lovely, doesn't it? But these things you do when you're a kid. Right, that one looks great. Now you can see the lovely colour of the paper coming through, even though it's a darker napkin. You can see the lovely words coming through as well, and you know, it's gonna just look lovely once it's cut into tags or journaling cards. I mean, you could just cut that, barring the little bits that I've ruined, and that could just be a journal card. You don't have to put any extra decoration on it. But yeah, it's a nice pattern paper, and I'm really impressed. This is the first time I've used the antique matte Mod Podge, and it's really nice. It smells, oh, it smells delicious. I don't know why I like the smell of Mod Podge, but I really do, and it does smell gorgeous. Right, I think we're going to need to get rid of you. Put you with the other ones, it's no good. Now, what was the other paper that I had? I've got a Pears Encyclopedia from 1890. So, you know, it's very thin anyway, because it was from an encyclopedia and they tended to use thin paper. But it's got lovely colouring on it, and I love the way they set the encyclopedias out there. And this has got no pictures on, because I do tend, sometimes you find little illustrations on these, and I like to use them as ephemera, but no, this one hasn't. So let's see, what can we use? What do we have? And we've done that one, let's try some of this over there, because I think that's going to look really, really cute. So let's try it and see, and then that will be perfect, a perfect background for a nice tag. And I really do like this fibre paper, it's really good stuff. You can get it from most craft stores. You can sometimes get it from the pound shop as well. You've just got to keep an eye out. That's the dollar store, I think it's called in America. It's the pound shop over here. Europe, I'm not sure. If you live in Europe, do you have, you know, I've been to Berlin before and I can't ever think if I've seen any kind of pound shops, or like well, it would be a Euro shop, wouldn't it? Yeah, let us know, drop us a comment if you're in Europe. Do you have those? Because yeah, you can get some really good craft stuff in those shops. I mean, granted, a lot of it is just, yeah, but sometimes they have some really good stuff in, and they do put this fibre paper in sometimes. I know that they've got dollar stores in America and in Canada, because I know Mary, my auntie, she lives in Canada and she loves her dollar store. I'm trying to think, the last time I was in Berlin, did I see a pound shop or a dollar store? I can't remember, and I can't remember ever seeing them anywhere else either. Let me know if you live in Europe, or if you live in the East, you know, let me know. In Australia, wherever you live, let me know. Do you have the equivalent of the pound shop? I'm curious now, I'm curious. Let me know, tell me, because yeah, that's intriguing. Now that is lovely, I adore that. That is perfect. Let's just cut that down. Again, I'm not going to be too precious, because this will get trimmed when it's all dry and I decide what I'm going to do with it. But look at the effect that has had. You've got the fibres over the top of the lovely old dictionary page. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's give it a top coat, because I want that lovely yummy creaminess from the antique Mod Podge to wash over. And plus, again, it's an added protection to do a top coat. You don't have to. If you don't want that texture, you can just do the one coat, because it will hold, and basically you don't have to do the top coat, you know, and you'll get a different texture. Whatever you're putting on, you'll get that texture. But I just like to do the extra layer. One, because I want the antique effect of the Mod Podge to come through, and two, I kind of like the texture that you get. Like I've just said, that leathery kind of. Oops, I'm spilling. That's because I haven't got a big enough brush and I'm trying to put too much on at once. Impatience, Eileen, impatience. Where's my cloth? Because I don't want that on my mat. Give that a little wipe off as well. Right, no, I'm impressed with that. That's really nice. Yep, that's going to look gorgeous. Can you imagine that's the base? The amount of lovely things you're going to be able to do with that, and the amount of textures, and oh, it's just going to be great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, what's next? What haven't we tried? Oh, I tell you what we haven't tried. We haven't tried these. So, let's see. What do we want to do these on? I kind of like the idea of doing them on the music paper. I think but I'm going to use a different music paper. I'm just looking for something that's like fully patterned. There's that one. Let's have a look and see what's on this one. That's not bad. We'll do that size. Or should we do that side? We'll do that side. Right. I do apologise for this tiny little brush. It's taken me much longer to do something that should have been done pretty quickly. But these things happen. I'm going to go out tomorrow and buy some more brushes because I'm just like, I can't be doing with this. I think I'll, I can't remember where I put them. You know what, I'm pretty sure one of my daughters borrowed them. That's usually what happens. It's like, Mom, have you got this? Yeah, sure, I'll put it back when you're finished. They never do. Does anybody else have that problem? They can borrow anything they want, but put it back. Now that looks absolutely gorgeous. I don't think you can see the full effect of it on the camera, but the gold, it's got the nice texture of the paper, and then the gold thread going through it is just, you can see that going across the top of the page and that, and it looks lovely. That's going to be gorgeous for making tags and things with. Okay, let's do the rest. Hold on, I'm going to just change this page because, yeah, we're getting stuck together. There we go, that's better. And I don't think I'm going to go over the top of this one because I actually like the way it feels. The texture of it is just gorgeous. It's got like, oh, it's lovely. If you've ever worked with this fibre paper, you know what I mean. It's got a lovely texture. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any big sheets of it, so I'm going to have to try and match it up, marry it up with the next bit. So let's get the next bit. Oh yeah, that's lovely. Just need a bit more Mod Podge under there. Yeah, I'm really liking this. This is going to make some lovely ephemera, this. I think I need to just go a little bit under there. I might have to go over the top, you know, just to make sure it stays on, because the Mod Podge will sink through because it is very loose fibred paper. You could try and do this, if you don't have the Mod Podge, you could try and do this with glue sticks, because I have very often used glue sticks to stick down the napkins, and it works, it's fine. I don't know about the other types of paper, like I think this stuff you would need Mod Podge, but you know, give it a go. Like I say, this is just an experiment I'm doing today. Get your papers out and have a bit of experiment. And you don't even have to do this on like antique paper. You could do this on any paper really. You could do it on coffee dye paper. It look really nice. That is gorgeous. Actually, I don't think I'm going to have to go over the top. This seems to be pretty well stuck. Just give it one more press down. Yeah, that's turned out lovely. Now, isn't that so much more interesting? Yeah, that's gorgeous. That, I'm loving that. Obviously this will not tear now. I'll have to cut it with scissors, but that's fine. But it's going to be a lovely base to make some nice tags and things, or even pockets. I mean, that by itself with a nice little cluster on. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Right, pop that one aside to dry. And the last one I wanted to try was this. Now let's get this out. I'm sure it should have an easy open. Now this I got from TK Maxx, which is a kind of it's supposed to be like a designer store, and they often have like tissue paper and that, and it's meant for you know, wrapping up presents and things. But I just thought it is the most delightful pattern. Let's get it the right way. And isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's just beautiful. So let's see, what do we have? I want to do some smaller ones as well. So let's get our smaller ones out. I'm just going through to see what might be. Yeah, that's going to fit. I'm just going to do those two because that's going to fit perfect. Because I really do love this. I'm going to just tear it across to make it easier to handle. And yeah, so if you get a chance, pop into your local TK Maxx, or I don't know if it's I don't know what the name is in America. I know it's similar but it's different, TJ Maxx or something. And in Europe I think they have TK Maxx, because I'm pretty sure I've seen that one when I've been to Berlin. So pop in, because they do have like the odd craft thing and the odd I'll tell you what they do have. They have some beautiful napkins. Now they are a bit more expensive, but they have some gorgeous designs, and it's difficult to get really nice napkins in England. We just don't get them. You know, I try to go to garden centres, because they generally have those nice little specialty shops in where they sell all sorts of nice little bits and pieces, and they often have very nice printed napkins. But you know, we don't tend to get brilliant ones, certainly not seasonal ones. I don't think I've ever seen any seasonal ones, to be honest with you. A couple of Christmas ones, but then very few and far between. So most of my seasonal ones I have to buy online. But TK Maxx, they actually do all year round. They do lovely ones, but they do seasonal ones as well. So yeah, it's worth having a look if you get the chance. Now this is a shiny tissue. It's not like your napkins. It's not as porous. So I'm just going to try and pull this back, because I've got a little. It doesn't matter that it's tearing. I just want to make sure I get that bubble, because I don't want there to be a bubble in it. So I'm just going to re-glue that bit. There we go. And then pop that back down. Yeah, so it is a shinier surface, which is fine, because the Mod Podge is going to still soak through, and it's still going to give you a nice texture. But again, oh, look at that. Look at the age of the paper coming through. That's gorgeous. Just get it off this gluey paper. Move them out the way. That's really nice. Now I'm going to go over again. Let's just trim this down. But yeah, that's going to make a really nice base. And like I say, these tissues that you use for wrapping, they're often quite highly decorated, and you're more likely to get like seasonal designs. I'm just cutting down the side of the page because I'm trying to get that little lip off, get that out of the way. It doesn't matter, because I can always square that off again later. Now I'm going to try and get this one rubbed down nicely, being gentle, because I've proven you don't want to pull it off the page. Right, now let's get this over the top, and this should give us a different texture again, because it's, like I said, it's not as porous. So although it will absorb the Mod Podge, it won't absorb it the way the napkins do, so it will give us a slightly different texture, which I kind of like playing with textures when I'm junk journaling, because I think a junk journal should be a beautiful thing to see to feel. I'm a very tactile person, so I like to be able to feel different textures, and you know, it's kind of it's another dimension to your junk journal, and it's one that very often gets missed, I think, and it all becomes a happy accident. But to me, texture is important. I don't know, does anybody else feel the same as that? Are you bothered about texture when it comes to your junk journal? For me, it's you know, it's as integral as the way it looks. But then, like I say, I am a tactile person. I love to, like, you know, I'm always getting wrong when we go to museums and things. Right, oh, I love that, and I really do. And you can see that the white is disappearing into that lovely creaminess of the Mod Podge and the lovely colour of the page underneath it. And that, standing alone, I could trim that down, and that is a beautiful tag. Yeah, I'm really loving this. So I think I'm going to make some more of these. Have a go. Get your tissues out. Get your textured papers out. Get your Mod Podge out. Or, you know, like I said, if you don't have the Mod Podge, get your glue sticks out, and just try making some nice. Use some of these old papers that would otherwise just be used in collage, and turn them into something that's really, you know, it's going to stand alone and really kind of capture the essence of that paper. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Just a quick one. Please do drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and drop me a comment. Tell me, do you have the pound shop, and where do you get your napkins from? What was the other thing I was asking? I can't remember now. Anyway, drop me a comment. Drop me a comment about anything. I love reading your comments. So yeah, stay safe, and happy crafting.